everyone, and welcome back to Badminton Weekly with me, Jasmine Lim. After 5 thrilling weeks, the Madrid Spain Masters finally rounds off this European leg of the calendar. And it did so with plenty of great showdowns and talking points. So let's not waste any more time and get into the thick of things with this week's expert, Scotland's finest and 2-time Olympian, Kirsty Gilmour. Happy to have you back, Kirsty.
Hi, thanks for having me back.
Now, it had been quite a wait, but on Sunday he finally secured his second title after defeating Toma Junior Popov in a dramatic Madrid Spain Masters finale. His performance throughout the week was indeed worthy of ending his title drought, wasn't it?
Absolutely, I think this was an incredible week for Loki New. I think the work that he had to put in this week, he had some pretty sticky rounds, but he came through each of them looking so strong, and you could just see what that title really meant to him. He was down on his knees, his hair was flowing, great hair right now, may I just add. And yeah, you could just see it meant so much to him because he's never really losing to people outside of the top 20. He's quite consistent in that sense. I think bravery is the perfect word for this week, the final, and I think it's the perfect word for this haul. I don't know if it came across to the people watching at home, but because Madrid is at altitude, it's about 700 meters above sea level, those shuttles are quick. So it takes a lot of bravery to kind of step, you know, half a meter forward at the front court, because it's who has the best net play and who can force their opponent to lift in that haul is the one that's going to be on top, is going to have initiative. And with that lift, you can just see Loki New's physicality come into it. His movement backwards and his explosion into his rear court shots is incredible. So I think that was really the key. Just on it, like, it comes down to those 2 points, right, and at the end of the match. So I think it's been a great week for him confidence wise. I think this week we could see a little springboard, and it's going to be super interesting with all the continental championships coming up to see what he can do going on from this.
I'm glad that I managed to overcome a lot of emotions and obstacles this week, because so far I've been having a lot of inner battle with myself. So it's a small step, but I'm glad that I made this step now. At the end, it was definitely very crucial, and was very nervous, and now I'm glad that it's over, so I'm just happy now.
You have to give credit to Toma Jr. as well. He really put in the work in Madrid, playing 7 hours and 35 minutes throughout the week in both the men's singles and doubles categories. His runner-up position reduces the gap between him and his brother Christo to just under 3,000 points. The European Championships is going to be crucial for both of them, and it's definitely one for us to keep an eye on as well.
Absolutely. I think the Popovs have kept us entertained with this story that they've been weaving this Olympic qualification year. I think it's something that no one else has done before, to try and purposefully qualify in singles and doubles, and just to add the family element in and it just be your brother. What a story. And I think in the last 3 or 4 weeks everyone's like, Christo's run away with it, you know, with his German Open win and his All England semi-final, and then Toma just kind of comes out of nowhere and gets to the final of Madrid, and like you say, closes that gap just a little bit. I think continental championships are always very interesting. I think the pressure is a little bit different, so crazy things can happen, but it's going to be super interesting in the Popov household especially.
While we find the Popov brothers' rivalry intriguing, they themselves welcome it as a means to push each other further. Beyond the men's singles, they're also vying for a spot in the doubles category. Let's hear from them as they discuss how they're managing the two categories during this Olympic qualification period.
It was planned for both because we had good chances to go for both, and I think it's still the plan and still the main goal of the all Olympic qualification, and we're gonna do our best to be qualified in both, which will be, if one of us is qualified in both draws, we may, I think, quite impressive, because not so many players did it before, especially on nowadays. I think it's all about organization and we will try to have better doubles, because until a few weeks it was more about we try our best on court, but now we're trying to more professional about the doubles, and juggling between singles and doubles, it's always tough, but I think we managed pretty well lately. And yeah, I'm confident about doing some good performance now at the end of the Olympic race. Yeah, partly everything, because we're brothers and best friends also. We're spending so much time together that we're really, really close. And yeah, it's a family thing and it's a team thing, because everybody's behind us and there is no we push more the other than the other one. It's always they push both of us, and we always did things together. So we should be, and it will keep going like this. Yeah, I think it's more about having a good competition between the both of us. I think it's good that both of us are really in a high ranking and very close. We are bringing us together to the top. I think when I'm performing well, that motivates Tomer to go even higher and perform for himself. And that same goes for me. When he's performing, I want to perform then the next weeks. So I'm pretty sure he will do well in the next weeks. He's really motivated to have his spot to Paris, and I'm also. And I think it's really good that we're pushing each other. It will be perfect. I mean, everybody will be happy, and that means we did a great qualification. All the team did it. So, and I think it's a really hard process to make an Olympic qualification, especially for two players living in the same house, living with the same trainer. So it will be perfect, and and the best will be to be qualified in men's single both and in men's double both. It will be the perfect. Paris has been the goal for many years now, and we are just a few months from the qualification. We've worked so hard to get to what we are now, and I hope we outperformed, and who is going to the Olympics is the guy who performed better. So yeah, just can't wait.
Turning our attention back to the final Sunday of the Madrid, Spain Masters, Ratchanok Intanon also ended her title drought since July 2022 after beating fellow Thai Supanita Karatong. Now, do you think this was a much-needed win for Ratchanok?
I think this is a very much needed win for Ratchanok. We haven't seen great form from her since coming back from her injury. We've seen kind of some decent results you would expect from Ratchanok Intanon, but we haven't really seen her take down those big names or indeed win any titles. So yes, I think this is maybe cementing a good stepping stone on her journey back to even into the top 10. I think she'll be looking to get back to the top 10 because she's slipped out. It's been a long time since we've seen a top 10 without Ratchanok Intanon's name in it, but I think she needed this one. I think we saw a little bit of freedom from her. I think this haul allowed her to use her strengths, which is her shot quality and her speed of shot and her weight of shot. I was on the receiving end of that, and let me tell you, it's tough. I said it was a fast haul, and Ratchanok's shots really whiz past you in a fast haul. She is fast and she is accurate, and I think this was the kind of perfect conditions for her. And yeah, it was fairly smooth sailing until a little speed bump with Pompoué, and then we saw that kind of clinical finish in the final against Katatong. So yeah, just I think a good set of circumstances for Ratchanok's game to come together.
For this competition, it's quite make me feel more confident for the next competition. So I hope that I still keep this good shape to play for the next tournament. For now, I think I just try to play to be enjoy. I don't know if I will play with the top player like the top 4. So I think that I just do my best day by day.
Moving on to the doubles categories, Indonesia competed in all 3 disciplines. While Febriana Dwi Puji Kusuma and Amalia Tahaya Pratiwi fell short against Rin Iwanaga and Kie Nakanishi in women's doubles, Sabar Kayama Gutama and Mo Reza Palevi Isfahani secured their first ever World Tour title by defeating Malaysia's Junaidi Arif and Roy King Yap in men's doubles. Finally, Rinov Rivaldi and Pita Huntingyas Mantari gained sweet revenge against Chung Sing and Zhang Chi in a rematch of the Allianz Masters Finals. Now, what do you think the Indonesian pair did differently here?
I think their performance through the whole tournament was impressive, but also they didn't actually play a seed at all in the whole tournament. They were seeded 6th and the top seed pulled out, and then the Chinese pair beat Tom and Delphine on the route to the finals. So I think they were kind of growing in confidence towards the final, and then I always find it so impressive when people lose one week and then they go back, they look at what happened, and they turn it around and they can, find what didn't work last week and find new things to work on for this week. And to get that win and to overcome the loss from last week and that disappointment, I think was super impressive. Again, I think the haul and the conditions were important. I think they did an excellent job of pushing forward in that mid-court and forcing those lifts. Rinov's heavy smash from the back would have been really, really great.
Here's how the race to Paris standings are shaping up after the Spain Masters. No changes in the top 8, but Loh Kian Yu's long-awaited second title moves him a spot up to 12th and mathematically seals his spot to Paris. The top 8 in the women's category also remains unchanged, but Ratchanok Intanon leaps 3 spots to 11th, while Supanita Katatong moves a spot up to enter the top 16 once again. There is no movement in the men's doubles standing. While Iwanaga and Nakanishi move 2 positions up to 12th in the women's doubles. And finally, sweet revenge aside, Rivaldi and Mentari's second Spain Masters title means they move a spot up to 15th, strengthening their push to Paris.
I think this mixed doubles race to Paris is one of the toughest we've seen in a long time. So for 16 in the world to be the cutoff for your mixed doubles is unbelievable quality, and so I think Robin Selena are going to be from Netherlands are going to be looking to stay in that. I think they're on the kind of cusp, but just the fact that we have such quality pairs that have just not made the cut is incredible. Especially if I look from a European sense, if I make it personal, look from a European sense, and say like Mark and Isabel, Marcus and Lauren aren't qualifying currently, which is it's crazy quality this year, and it makes it really exciting.
Finally, it was reported that Ng Ziyang won't be fit to take part in the upcoming Badminton Asia Championships and will therefore miss out on Paris. It must be such disappointing news for Ng to take, but what's important for him now to move forward?
It's such a shame for Ng Ziyang to be world ranked 18 and to have your Olympic Games kind of ruled out is such a shame. But saying that, I think he has a back injury, and back injuries are absolutely no joke. I've experienced a couple myself, and I think because he's so young, I think he's 23, so I think this is a really tough decision, but like a correct decision just in terms of the type of injury. I don't know the exact type of injury, but back injuries, it doesn't just affect your playing career and your on-court training and your playing, but it can also affect just your general quality of life. So I think good management from people around him. I think it's a hard decision, but a correct decision. And yeah, I think the way his career trajectory is going, I think he would be on track to feature in the LA Olympics. So yeah, I think correct decision from them.
We wish Ng a speedy recovery, but that's all we have for today's episode. Thanks so much for taking the time to talk to us, Kirsty.
Thanks so much for having me.
Just like the HSBC BWF World Tour, we're taking a break next week, but fret not, you can still catch up on all the latest news, updates and analysis on the BWF app Badminton for you. You can also rewatch some of the best action from the European Tour on our YouTube and Facebook pages. Till next time everyone, take care!